This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Welcome to Race in Action Today. We're here again back at the Greenwich Concours d'Elegance. And as you can see, we're looking at a beautiful 1949 Curtis sports car. And that has a real storied history, and we're going to be covering some of these specialty sports cars today, and we're also going to talk to a few people with some performance automobiles. It's going to be just a great show. The owner of this car, Dwayne Ashmead, we're going to be interviewing him very shortly, and I'll tell you, this car has a very, very interesting history that I'm sure you're going to find very interesting. Enjoy the show. Yes, we have Dwayne Ashmead, who owns this absolutely gorgeous 1949 Curtis race car, or sports car, I should say. And I'll tell you, Dwayne, I have never seen one. This is the first time I ever seen one. This car got to be a rare car.
It is. There are only 16 of them built. This is the first of the 16. This particular car was on the Bonneville Salt Flats, where it set a record in 1949.
Really? And how do you remember how fast it went?
Approximately 143 miles an hour.
Oh, boy, that's interesting in itself. Now, tell me, how'd you acquire this car?
I always wanted a Curtis sports car, and one day a friend called me, and he said, "You'll never guess what I bought." And I says, "What's that?" He says, "I just bought a Curtis sports car." I said, "Mark, I want it." He says, "Okay, do you want to know how much it's going to cost you?" And I said, "Yes, but I still want it." And he told me it was a fair price. And so he says, "Do you want to know the condition?" I said, "Yeah, but I still want it." He said, "Well, I understand it's been completely restored." And I said, "That's great. That'll be the first car I've ever bought that's restored." And when it came in, it was just in pieces. He hadn't seen it either, but it was in pieces. But that was good, because in disassembling the car to restore it, we found the original VIN number stamped on the frame, which told us this was the first car, and the car that set the land speed record on the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Wow, that is something special. How long did it take to redo the car?
About 2 years.
2 years. I'll tell you, it is absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
They're kind of rare. We don't see them that often.
No, well, when you only have 16 and maybe 3 or 4 still around, they are rare.
Now tell me, where are you from, Dwayne?
I'm from Utah.
From Utah?
Yes.
Wow, you're a ways away. Now, did you have the car trailered here?
Or? Yeah, I'm just doing the rounds. I started in Florida earlier in March, and just doing the rounds and doing all of the East and the Midwest, and then I'll send the car back home.
Well, I'll tell you, we're certainly glad you're here, and you got an absolutely gorgeous car. We want to thank you for this interview, and I'm sure you're going to do well this weekend.
Well, let's hope so. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
You were great.
Good.
Now talk about a special car, and look at that flathead with Elderbrock heads and twin carburetors. I mean, this 1949 Curtis was an absolute gem of a car. I want to tell you, it is just flawless. Yes, we have Richard Mosteller here, who owns this beautiful Nash Healey, 1953, I believe. And I'll tell you, this car is stunning, Richard. I got a feeling you know a few things about this car.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Have you owned it a while?
About 6 years.
Did you restore the car? Or?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
All but the paint. I didn't do the paint.
Now, these cars are kind of rare. Am I thinking right?
Yeah, this is one of maybe 250 made of this style.
Where did you find the car?
California.
Wow.
I bought it from the second owner.
Now, are you from this area?
I'm from the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area.
So you were actually looking for this kind of a car to begin with?
Always wanted one. Had to sell a Thunderbird to buy it, and a 33 Dodge to restore it.
Is that right? Yeah. I mean, the parts are not easy to come by. Even the aftermarket people have to be a problem, right?
And you have to make them. There is no aftermarket parts.
Wow.
None at all.
Now, this color, was that the original color combination?
Close as I could get to it. Close as I could. This was on a stamp in 2005, United States stamp, 37 cents.
This car? Oh, wow. It's got an interesting history.
Yep, very good. Very good.
Now, where were you from?
Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia, yeah.
Suburbs.
You attend local car events throughout the year?
Yeah, well, yeah, all over.
I bet you this car attracts a lot of people because you don't see them that often.
No, you don't. It's very rare, and everybody says, I remember them, but I've never seen one. So,
Yeah.
so
I hear you. What kind of motor is in this car?
it's got a Nash six-cylinder dual carbureted ambassador engine. Car will do 140 mile an hour.
Wow, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I think you're going to do very well at the event. I have to commend you. The car is absolutely gorgeous, and I think you're going to have some fun here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will.
Thanks for the interview. You were
you.
great.
Good.
Yes, we're about to talk to the owner of this gorgeous 1959 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer convertible, and believe me, this is a very special car.
Yes, we have Nafe Maycall here, who owns this absolutely gorgeous 59 Dodge, and I'm not sure of the model, but I got a feeling, Nafe, you know a little bit about this car. What actually is it?
Yes, it's a 1959 Dodge Custom Royal Lancer Super D500 convertible.
I see two 4-barrel carburetors on this car. That's kind of intriguing me. Was that a factory thing?
Yes, that's the Super D500 designation. It's a 383 cubic inch engine, 345 horsepower with the two 4-barrel carburetors.
So stepping on the gas could be exciting.
Yes, it breaks the wheels loose every so often.
Do you know the production numbers on this car?
I really don't know, but I know there's only a handful left in the country.
Yeah, you don't see many. I see the models from the race era, the 64 5s, that kind of thing. But these earlier cars, they're very rare. I don't see them.
No, this is much rarer than the 60s cars. There's a lot of those out there.
Now, is this color scheme what the car was when it was new?
Well, actually, the car was born with all yellow outside, okay? And when I bought the car, it had rose quartz and like a pink color. It was two-tone, which was a factory color scheme. And I decided to put it back to the yellow, and of course it had black and yellow interior. Then I started thinking a little more, and I said, I know they offered the black two-tone with a yellow, so that's what I decided to do, two-tone the car, black and yellow.
Well, I'll tell you, it's got a kind of a soft spot with me. Growing up, I had a 56 Chevy that was yellow and black. They actually called the color some kind of chartreuse or something, but it was very similar in looks-wise. And back then, in the 50s, they were popular colors.
Yeah, they called them bumblebees when they used to see them go down the road.
Now, tell me, did you physically restore this yourself?
No, but I had Tom White from Hopkinton, Mass., who specializes in Chrysler products of this era, restore the car. And I bought the car in 1992 and didn't do much with it until about 5 years ago, and that's when I had him do the entire frame-off restoration on the car.
Now, where are you from, Nafe?
I'm from Suffield, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, up in the northern part of the state, yeah.
Right.
Do you go to many of these events?
Yes, I do. I've been collecting cars since 1979, and I have a few in the collection that are, they're all different. Yeah. Are
they Chrysler cars?
I have two or three other Chrysler products, 5 Lincoln products, Buicks, Cadillacs, etc. Just a lot of different cars I enjoy.
So the collector car world is alive and well.
It is. It is. It's an obsession. So when you're obsessed with something, you just it just takes over your life and or becomes part of your life.
I know the feeling. I'll tell you. I'm getting these feelings with this vintage car racing has got my attention.
Yeah. Well, we're all related in a way. You know, we all kind of cross over. When I was a kid, it was drag racing, and drag racing went into collector cars.
Yep.
So.
Well, we're certainly going to commend you for what you've done here. This car is absolutely gorgeous. We hope you do very well here, but I think you're going to have fun.
Thank you very much.
And that's what it's all about. And just for being able to put a car in this show, you know the car has to be good.
Yes, that's true, especially at a Greenwich concourse or any of these concourses throughout the country.
So we're going to be keeping track to see how well you do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you. You've been great.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nate. You got a beautiful car.
Now, how special was this car? Look at the jukebox drive, yeah, and push button, automatic. I mean, this car is flawless, and swivel seats. Just doesn't get any better than that. Well, the Chevy guys are going to be happy. We haven't seen a Chevrolet in a while, and here we go. We got a 1970 Chevrolet Cheville Convertible, and boy, I'll tell you, it's a special one. And as you could see, this car is equipped very, very nice, and it is a very rare car.
Yes, we have Frank Churchia, who owns this absolutely gorgeous 1970 Cheville convertible, and I think this is kind of a special car because I don't believe they made many of these, and I think you know a little bit about it.
They made only 20. Yeah.
Wow. And what is the designation? Is it like a LS?
It's an LS6 designation, which is the highest horsepower of the day. And there wasn't many of them sold. They were very expensive for cars of the similar cars of the day, and this one had the option, which is, makes it pretty, sets it apart.
Yeah, I when I looked at it and I came to look at the engine and everything, I said, this is a rare car. I mean, they're rare to find in a hardtop, let alone a convertible.
Yeah, it's very rare in a convertible. You know, those, like I said, they were pricey in its day, and not many people check those boxes, convertible and LS6.
Now, did you restore this car yourself?
Yes, I did. Yep, my auto body shop in Rockland.
How long did it take you?
3.5 years. Yep.
And is this the original configuration?
Oh, yes. Everything is original on the car. Everything is the way the car came from the factory, except the tires, reproduction.
Yeah, we're always looking for this type of a muscle car because that's really the era I come from, too, believe it or not. You know, the 60s is when it was happening, and then it rolled into the 70s, and then it went away. But I'll tell you, they're always a pleasant thing to come across. And now, how many horsepower is this car?
450, which was very underrated. It's more like 500 is more like it's accurate, but they did it for insurance reasons. Nobody can get insurance on these cars. They were too fast.
Do you ever take this car to a drag strip?
Absolutely not. Nope.
You can't get the racing bug yet, huh?
Nope. There's actually no fun in owning this car. It's very nerve-wracking.
You're nervous to get it on the street?
I'm just nervous somebody running into it or somebody scratching it or any host of things.
Well, we certainly got to commend you. The car is absolutely gorgeous. You've done an outstanding job, and I have a feeling, you're going to have a good time here, and you're going to do very well.
I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Frank. You are excellent.
Thank you very much.
Well, it didn't take me long to find a Mustang, and as you could see, this GT 500 KR is going to be a great car to talk about.
Yes, we have Kurt Larson, who was the restorer of this absolutely beautiful Shelby Mustang, and I have a feeling you know a few things about this car, Kurt. What is it?
A little bit. This car, there was about 500 of them built. Nowadays, there's probably a couple hundred over the years left. It's got a 428 in it. It's a 4-speed car.
Is this the color combination it came when it was new?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a very pretty car. And now, was this like a rotisserie kind of a thing, or was the car in good shape to begin with? Or
This car was bought in about 2007, and it was totally taken apart and restored from ground up.
Now, I'm not sure the horsepower of this car. Do you know what it is on this 428?
I believe it's about 335.
335, and that's probably underrated for insurance purposes, I'm very sure.
Yes, it was.
Is this something you specialize in, Ford products?
Yes. I kind of do all makes, but I kind of specialize in Fords.
Where's your shop?
I really don't have a shop. I work for this gentleman that owns the car, and he has a lot of other cars. I kind of just work for him.
Now, the person that owns this car, who is that?
That is Bob Beckman out of Salt Point, New York.
And is he basically a Ford person too, or he just has a collection of all different kind of cars?
He's just Ford.
Yeah, that's usually the case. That's why I always ask that question. Mustang guys usually you either have a Mustang or a Shelby Cobra.
His cars vary from a 36 Ford Phaeton up to a Thunderbolt to this, a Shelby.
That Thunderbolt has to be kind of a special thing.
Yes, it is. That's in the process of being restored right now.
Yeah. What do you think of the show here today?
That's wonderful. A lot of nice cars, a lot of nice people, too.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you, we think this show is the greatest. It's unfortunate the weather kind of a little ominous, but you know what? The camaraderie alone is enough to make it well worthwhile.
Yes, it is. I'm having a great time here.
Well, we want to thank you, Kurt, for your interview and wish everybody luck with this car. I have a feeling you're going to have a good day with it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. You were great, Kurt.
Thanks.
I tell you, talk about a flawless car. This 68 Shelby Convertible with the 428 is really, really a special car. And I'm just so envious. I'd love to park this car right in my garage. Yes, we have Thomas Code in this 1956 Curtis 500.
It's absolutely gorgeous. 1956 Curtis. And I'll tell you, this car is kind of impressive. And I got a feeling you know a thing or two about this car, Tom.
Yes, a little. I'm the third owner of the car. A guy named Sutton out of the Carolinas ordered a Curtis chassis out of California. Curtis chassis were primarily used in Indianapolis race cars and midgets, but he sports car chassis, and this is one of them. And he shipped the chassis to Denver, and a guy named Lyons did the body work. And he told Lyons that he wanted the front of the car to look like a Ferrari California Spider, and the rear of the car to look like Bertoni's Bat car. And this is what he built.
Well, I'll tell you, it is stunning.
It's all aluminum, has a tubular chassis. You can, without the drivetrain, you can pick this whole car up with one hand. And it runs like 500 horsepower.
Now, did this car have some kind of a race history?
Yes, it raced in the Carolinas primarily and did a lot of it in drag racing, and nothing ever beat it.
Now, it's got a Hemi, Chrysler Hemi. How big is the engine?
Well, it's 392 cubic inches. It runs right close to 500 horsepower. The car, if you look at the workmanship that guy did with aluminum and bend it as fine as he did in the bat wings, it's amazing because it's hard to do that with aluminum when it doesn't crack.
Yeah, absolutely. Back then, especially, the technology wasn't what you have today, you know.
Yes. It has an interesting emergency brake. It's what we used in the hot rods years ago, where in the brake line, you put a valve. So the emergency brake is you step hard on the brake and turn the valve, and it locks all the brakes.
Wow.
If you're going down the road and you think it's going to stop you, no, it's just a valve. In fact, it'll stop you from stepping on the brake because it won't work at all. But that's how they made emergency brakes for hot rods.
Well, I got to tell you, I think sitting in this car and stepping on the gas has to be an exciting experience.
Yes, it is. I bought it from the driver, like I said, I'm the third owner. And he told me, he said, Tom, when you finish the car, he said, before you push down on the accelerator, he said, make sure you've got it pointed in the right direction, because you just went by whatever the hell you were looking at.
Well, we certainly want to wish you a lot of luck this weekend, and I just have a feeling you're going to have some fun here.
Yes, yes, always do it at Greenwich, always do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom, and good luck with your car, and I'll tell you, I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to take a little breather here as I show you some highlights of some of the cars we covered at the event this weekend. And I wanted to take the time to explain to everybody that because the show is only a half hour long, we have to make many segments of this event. You know, there may be 7 to 8 shows on this one event alone, because we always strive to make sure that anyone we do an interview with does get on a show. And that's why when you tune in to Race in Action today, you find that you see many shows about the Greenwich Concours, the Elegance, because we have to do that because of time constraints. And I'll tell you, it is always just a real treat to come to this event here in Greenwich. Bruce and Gagne Winterstrom just do an absolute wonderful job putting this show together with their siblings too. I know they get the kids involved and their husbands and wives, and it's really a family thing. And I'll tell you, I was a little saddened this past week. Gagne was not at the show. I guess she wasn't feeling well, and we certainly want to wish her all the best, and our thoughts are going to be with her. But I'll tell you, the event was just unbelievable. So far, we've only covered the American cars, and the next couple of shows coming up here soon will be about the European cars, as that's a separate day in itself. But all in all, you know, the people that we meet here at the show are just fantastic. I can't tell you all the stories and different things that we learn so much. You know, it's like an educational event because we see cars at this event that we never see in all of our activities going to car events. I mean, they're just outstanding condition. Number one, they're very, very rare, and it's just an absolute joy to come here. I can't stress enough to try to tell people that save that first week in June every year to come down to this Greenwich Concours, the Elegance. It really is something special. You will not be disappointed. We see things here, like I said, that you just never see anywhere. I mean, there was a vehicle here that actually retrieved cosmonauts, which that we did feature it in one of the shows, and I mean, I had no idea that vehicle even existed, let alone how they went out and retrieved these cosmonauts. And the Mopar, this 59 car there with the dual 4 barrels really was brought me back to my teenage years. The Corvettes are always a strong point. We actually did a show, the very first show of this series was just about Corvettes. That's how many were there, and believe me, they were all just flawless. And these one-off vehicles that we run into are really, really something special.
true. As cars were slowing down, you would have a good look on the highway.
Yeah, it's like driving around with no pants on.
Yes, we come to the conclusion of our show today, and I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as we did producing it. It's sure been an outstanding event here at the Greenwich Concours d'Elegance, and I want to thank our crew, Billy Majak, Dwayne Cody, David Seilinger, for all the great work they do. And last of all, and most of all, I want to thank you, the viewers, for being with us on Racing Action Today.
This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Special thanks to the Racing Action Today crew: Dwayne Cody, Billy Majak, David Seidlinger, Lisa Backus, and Luis Gonzalez. Also, we want to thank our home station, Nutmeg TV, for all their support.